What is up, everybody? Chillverse here today, and we have to talk about Sony allegedly pulling PSVR2 funding support. They are actually in the process of being done with the PSVR2. Shocking to some, but not to me. I can tell the PSVR2 is going to be a flop when it releases because most people don't give a crap about VR gaming. It's a very niche hobby, and as like less people care about VR gaming than handheld support. To be honest, and Sony had the PS Vita, which was a somewhat of success. It only really didn't get funded more because people weren't buying it because of the terrible memory card prices was one of the major factors what I think flopped. And if they cut that, and I kind of knew they cut that Vita, they was gonna cut this PSVR2. So I mean, it's not official. They didn't say they're not. They didn't officially say they're done with this, but the funding has been significantly cut by Sony. And apparently there are only 2 first-party PSVR2 games in development. So the writing is on the wall. This thing is going to be done very soon. Probably another year or 2. They're only giving 2 major first-party games. The funding is being cut. It's like this thing is pretty much dead at this point in time. So now to get a look, if you paid, the same price as a system, $500 for this thing, and it's already about to be, is pretty much on his deathbed at this point. Not a good look. This gimmicky nonsense. It just shows you it's gimmicky nonsense. That's why Microsoft didn't want to go further with this type of technology. And I'm glad they didn't. It's like, yeah. So, I don't know what to say, but people who bought this thing, you hold a major L right now. Literally a major L. Yeah. I don't know if you probably should get out while you can. Sell it to somebody who doesn't know about this news right here to get rid of it, to recoup some of that cost. But yeah, this thing is pretty much dead. So, once again, major Sony L. The fact that media isn't really talking about this. Like, there's a few sites, but none of the major ones are talking about this right here. Just shows you how much the media just loves the cake for Sony, because if Microsoft released a device that's not getting supported after they just released, we went at the end of it. But you know, PlayStation get that special treatment. Like, they brought out this expensive device and nobody's buying it, and they're about to cut the support soon. So let's see what people got to say about this. When they announced the adapter and opened up the headset for PC games, I kind of saw the writing on the wall at this point. Sony abandoned a non-home console after doing the absolute bare minimum to support it. Kind of their MO at this point. It was dead in release without backwards compatibility, and wires are a big L2, and PC support was a must. Okay. Make it cheaper. I agree. They might as well make it cheaper at this point. Like, I don't think that's even gonna save anything though. Like, I can say people can buy the software, the games, but I don't think that's even gonna be enough to save it. This thing is just dead. It's like, just get rid of it at this point. Not surprised this thing was a waste of time and money. Return mine, the crap was just glitchy. Feel bad for the people who bought this. What a waste of money. Yeah, it's like how they treated the PS Vita owners. That should have been less than enough. It's like, if you bought a PS Vita, you saw how they treated that thing and their fan base for that. It's like, yeah, you should have knew at that point. So, for some of you guys, it's like the fool me twice type of scenario. You got fooled about the Vita and you got fooled about this one. So, I'm not saying you deserve what happened next, but you kind of got tricked multiple times by PlayStation. The hardware is actually pretty good. The lack of any good first-party games is totally to blame here. There's only so much GT7 and Call of the Mountain one can play. The third-party games were just pathetic ports of old PSVR1 games. It's dead like what other hardware failures Sony has had. Yeah. I wish they would just get rid of this crap. They should just focus on so much more. I agree. To be honest, like, people don't want to hear that, but they just need to cut the fat at this point. Just focus on first-party games for PS5. Don't care about this niche nonsense. Just focus on mainline PS5 games. Single-player ones at that. Makes sense. Now we know why Xbox didn't go for it. Yeah, Xbox saw it right on the wall. It's like Xbox is already getting scrutinized for not having a big first-party game. So it's like, why would you get more scrutiny for not focusing on first-party and going with this other niche nonsense? It's like, leave this VR to the PC people who won't play this. It's like, I guess that some people on console want to enter in this type of form again. Most people don't want to do that. So if you really care about VR, just play it on PC at that point. Prayers for this guy and 4 other active PSVR2 users out there. It's pretty much saying that nobody uses that thing. It's not far off. Like, no one, who's really playing the PSVR like that? Not gonna lie, this is actually not a bad thing. Sony needs to start cutting funding on a lot of their stuff. The bloated figures on how much the revenue it costs to operate needs to go down. Both Xbox and PlayStation are putting so much money into things that don't need it. Fire Sale is incoming. What a horrible device. Why did they even make this? A question I want to know too. Like, where did they get the people wanted to buy this? Like, what studies did they show us? Hey, people really want to buy a VR device? Yeah, just because they have the PSVR 1 doesn't mean they need to make a sequel to it. So, once again, I don't know what made them think that this was a good idea to make a sequel to the PSVR 1. But yeah, nobody cares about those. Should have been fully PC compatible with all the features on day one. They never were serious about this thing. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Like, they just half-assed it at this point in time. Kind of like how they're doing with the whole PC, making games go to PC. Like, they're half-assing that too. Like, if we want to put it on PlayStation first, then for like a year or two, put it to PC. And it's like, no, just put the games day one on PC. Like, once again, they're just doing stuff backwards. They're not fully committed to any one of these projects they're doing, so. Didn't Pony say says Xbox wishes it had a VR? Come on, Pony, support your own facepalm. Nobody was buying. Even the diehards aren't buying this nonsense. It's like if they do buy it, they're only showing it to show off on Twitter or on social media. They're not playing these games. Sony PlayStation remake Guitar Man for the VR headset. Reboot the best franchise you got. Make tons of money. Send me. Okay, that's hilarious. Remember when clowns said Microsoft was stupid for not investing in VR, and how they lied to everyone? People really thought VR was the next big thing. Yeah, these guys were dumb. Okay, so this person says VR costs a lot, and a lot of people just don't want to spend that type of money on a product that they may not even use. Bro, I've been saying it for the longest. Like, most people who did buy the PSVR2, it's mostly going to spend this time in somebody's closet. Like, let's be honest. Most people ain't playing that device like that. So, it's just like a niche device. You say, hey, you show social media that you got it, but you're not really going to play this thing like that. Like, why would you play this over the standard just TV and controller for a regular game? Like, let's be honest here. PSVR2 road to failure. Don't make it backwards compatible. Limit your headset at release to the console. Don't push games into it. Port to PC without the features that separate you from the competition. Close shop. Okay, so this guy says, another day, another PSVR2 is dead article, lol. I just had my favorite year of gaming because of the device, but keep telling me there's no games. I mean, they're cutting down funding, bro. Like, what more do you need? If I'm seeing that, hey, they're cutting down funding, that's not giving me a good sign that there's a good future with this device. But you can keep hope alive, I guess, with literally the writings on the wall. Like, they're saying, hey, we're cutting down funding. It's like, you're just delusional at that point. Like, that's because Sony didn't say it themselves that they're done with it. It's pretty much there. It's pretty much, what else do you need to see? No Gamescom, no VR, no games. Soon, no. Yeah, PlayStation is just something else. They're really something else right now. Good, a waste of resources. I mean, I'm kind of glad if they do go to. Like, I'm fine if it just goes away. Like, no sleep would be lost about this. Makes sense. PlayStation profits are awful, and PSVR 2 is dead. Because VR isn't as popular as companies want you to believe it is. That was quick. Yeah, how long has this been on the market? Like 2 to 3 years? If you're not long. Like, this has been on the market for that long. It's already about to. get the nail in the coffin, pretty much. What a surprise! PSVR2 has been Vita'd. Yeah, that's a shame what they did to the Vita. And it's like crazy because Nintendo pretty much had a handheld. They was very successful, but I guess Sony just said to hell with it. It's like Nintendo can be successful at a console, but Sony can't be successful with it. Like, yeah, I'm included right here. This thing being they're pretty much reducing all the support. It's not shocking. Like what they did to the Vita is very telling, and I was like, it's crazy because Nintendo could do a handheld properly, but you guys can't like do the handheld properly either. But whatever. So that is the story. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about PSVR 2 funding being reduced significantly. Leave a like for this video, and as always, thanks for watching and peace.